everyone. Today we are in Cranberry Studio. We are interviewing Marthese for our Women Motor magazine. Here's Marthese.
Hi. Hello everyone.
Marthese, I want to introduce you a little bit to our audience. So how old are you?
Okay, I'm as old as a horse.
Oh, no way.
No, I'm joking. I'm 57 years old.
Okay,
Going
you
on to
have
58.
children?
I have 2 kids. Eldest is a boy, he's 27 years old. The youngest is a girl, she's 23 years old.
You told me you have cats, right? How many
I
cats?
have 5 cats.
You have 5 cats?
Yes,
Okay.
all my babies too.
Alright, so what are their names?
I have Z tops. I have Zephyr, Zuko, Zoya, Ziggy, and Zoe.
Oh, do they all get along at home?
Yes and no.
Yes and
Depends. Well, the eldest, which is Zephyr, he doesn't even like the smell of Zoe, so they tend to growl and hiss at each other every time they smell each other.
I see.
But other than that, they're okay.
They're okay.
As long as they keep out of each other's ways.
I see. Okay, so I want to talk about a little bit about life. You know, life changes. For example, like I see you have a really positive attitude. For example, your energy is so bright and so active. You're always being very positive. I want to know a little bit about why. So normally people been through some period of time in their lifetime. In the 20s, they're very conscious about what other people think of themselves. And the age grows, I find them they care less and less. And for you, I can see you don't care anything.
Nowadays, yes, even more than ever before. But the turning point came about 16 years ago.
Right.
Because, like, teenagers were teenagers. You do fun stuff, you do adventurous stuff, you go crazy at times, but it wasn't a good way, see? And then you kind of like grow out of these groups. People get married, get separated, get divorced, get married again or whatever. But the thing is, just after my separation, okay, I had a very unfortunate illness.
Oh.
People hate to talk about it. They call it the big C word.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was a double issue because I had 2 cancers in the same breast at the same time. But luckily, because of one, they found the other.
I see.
And from then on, it took about the whole of 2001. Chemo, this, that, and everything. Coincidentally, my father was a cancer victim too, but he died. And then, well, I've never really thought of dying, even when I had the cancer. It's just like I had 2 kids, you don't want to leave 2 kids orphaned, so you just deal with it.
Yeah. So
you just can't give up. You have to deal with it. You have to face it. I was half asleep most of the time.
Oh.
And
because of the chemo treatment.
Yes, because of the chemo treatment. I wasn't nauseous in that sense, like I was lucky on that aspect of it, but I was sleepy all the time. And funnily enough, I was in St. Julian's at the time, okay, living in St. Julian's. And I used to take a bus ride kind of like from Mesida or from Valletta to St. Julian's, and that's quite a long way, okay? And I used to fall asleep on the bus. And at the time, the terminal was in St. Andrews, Pembroke. So can you imagine how many times I wake up when we're in St. Andrews and we've missed our stop completely? At one point, one driver came up to me and he said like, "Oh, you're okay, Mrs.?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine, I just fell asleep." He told me, "Well, I heard the kids calling, 'Mama, we're here.'" You know, kind of like when we got to nearing our stage, but he just couldn't do anything about it. He was driving, and you know how busy St. Julian's is, so until we got to St. Andrews, he couldn't do anything about it. And he said, "It's okay, I'll take you back down." Just don't fall asleep on me again, please.
How sweet. Oh.
Yes, it was very nice of him, very sweet of him. But it used to happen quite often, and not just on the bus there. It could be on the bus anywhere, or in a car, or wherever.
I see. So that's just the side effect.
It was one of the side effects I had of chemo at the time, because there are other side effects that you carry with you for ages.
For example, other side effects you had?
Now, no, because it's been 16 years, but for a long while I was having the chemo, I had a very, very, very sickly sweet taste in my mouth. And that carried on for like 3 or 4 years after I'd finished chemo. That I used to hate, because I don't like sweet things. Like, you know, those very sweet things, I don't like them.
I see.
I'd rather eat a raw lemon than have anything that sweet again.
So I want to ask you, like, the first time, how did you discover the cancer? How did you go to see the doctor and find out?
Actually, I didn't discover anything. I was just sitting down after my kids had started school. I was covering their books and whatever. I just stood up, I stretched, and I heard a popping sound, which kind of like surprised me, because when I looked down, I saw this huge bump here at the top of my right breast. And I'm thinking like, oh, what's that? So I just called my doctor, and he came in and he said, we'd better have this investigated. You know, so he wrote out the referral ticket for me.
Right.
And he said, but in the meantime, you call them and tell them it's an urgent matter. But unfortunately, this urgent matter, when I phoned up the next morning, it turned out to be a very lengthy, stretched out, muddled up mix-ups. So it took about 6 months for me to have the tests done.
I see.
And the final diagnosis in March. So that was September 2000 into March 2001.
I see. So at the beginning, they wasn't sure.
Not that they weren't sure, but well, when I rang up, obviously the person on the other end of the phone wasn't getting my meaning or whatever, and he said the first appointment available we have is in December. I said, yeah, okay, fine.
Okay.
And having, like, you know, this positive attitude, like, it's not because cancer can't happen to me, but I was thinking more of like a blockage in my milk duct, so that's why this lump is here. So I said,
okay. So
you know, it's going to be a minimal, a minor procedure, so I wasn't really bothered to wait till December.
I see. Okay.
That's
so that
what it
sort of
was.
delayed a little bit then.
Yes, and then when I went in this December for this first appointment, you know, they checked you out, this and everything. He sent me to another room. I had blood samples taken. I was given an appointment for a mammogram, which I was under the impression I was having on that day, which didn't happen.
Okay.
So I went again in January. This was like 2001.
Okay.
For this mammogram, then you have to wait, obviously, for the results. And when the results came, it's like we were talking double Dutch. This doctor who was talking to me about the results, because she was referring to one thing, I was referring to the other. What we didn't know, that the mammogram had showed up something else and not the lump I had found.
Ah, okay.
So there was kind of like a bit of a mix-up.
That's why you were confused.
Not exactly confused, because we didn't realize this until the day before the biopsy.
Okay.
No, not the day before the biopsy. It's like a few weeks earlier, she had called me up. This doctor told me, we're giving you an appointment for this date to have your biopsy done. She told me I have to be admitted the day before. And I said, can you explain to me what this microcalcifications word is? She told me it's like their growths, this, that, and everything. And I said, yeah, okay. She said, well, so what is this lump I have here? Because I'm thinking it's got to do with a blocked milk duct. She told me, what lump? And it kind of like suddenly clicks. She doesn't know what I'm talking about, and I don't know what she's talking about. And we're supposed to be talking about the same person and the same issue.
Exactly.
So again, I asked her, I said like, well, you tell me, because you have the mammogram results, I can't see them from here.
And how did you find out there were actually two cancers?
Because Then you have the case history results after you do your biopsy and this and everything. And they were specifically recorded as being two separate cancers. One was like growing, but in the form of a lump, self-contained or whatever.
You're so bright and you're so open about everything, and there are people they refuse to talk about it.
Why should I?
And you don't have any problem.
No, I didn't bring this on myself. It just happened. I'm subject to it. So maybe if people hear you talk about it or speak about your experience, maybe just could lighten them up a bit in the sense that like it gives them hope.
Exactly.
Not lighten them up as in being ignorant and they're learning something. It's nothing to learn about cancer because each and every case is different.
Different. Everybody's different. And
It's just the aspect, the way you look at it. Some people like, there's a friend I know of mine and undergoing certain tests. And the first thing he said to me, Mark, I'm not like you. If the results are negative, I'm not gonna fight it like you have.
Oh.
And I'm gonna fight it like hell. Excuse the expression, but if that is the case, I'm not gonna let him do that. I just won't. I'm not gonna mention his name, but if he's gonna hear this, he'll know it's him.
I know. You're always very courageous, you know.
No, it's not being courageous. It's something. It's ingrained in me. I can't see the bad side of things. There's always something positive in any situation.
Exactly.
And that's how I look at it.
So there were 12 chemo treatment sessions. And how was it?
Well, the first 4 were of the, they call it the strongest kind. You know, the most powerful kind of chemo you can have. And then after 4 or 5 it was, I can't recall exactly, but then they changed the recipe, so to speak, because that is based upon weight, height, and a lot of other stuff, but mainly on the blood levels. If they've gone up in that 3-week gap, you'll get your chemo session. If the blood levels haven't gone up, you're gonna have to miss that session.
Oh, so that's
And you're gonna have to wait, so obviously the treatment will take longer. Luckily I was okay.
So that was
Every
treatment
time.
from May to December.
Yes, from May to December of the same year, that's 2001. Then after the last session, I had a little bit of respite in between Christmas and New Year. And then come the New Year and I had 15 days of radiotherapy.
I see. And it's it passed now, it's 16 years, right?
Yes, 16 years.
And they
have gone
still
by.
keep eye on you.
Yes, of course, they still keep you on the regular checkups and ultrasounds and mammograms.
How often those
Well, the
checkups?
mammogram is done yearly. There's certain x-rays they do and, you know, chest x-rays and blood tests and everything. It depends what is required, you see, because in the meantime you might have other health issues that require other testing. So in between one kind of visit that has to do with this,
Yes,
you're involved in another issue. So
I see. Okay,
it depends on what the issues are
I see.
or what the effects are of the chemo. Then again, it's good to be kept under a watchful eye.
Yeah, so your mind can be rest.
Yes, because, okay, it's nice to say I'm in remission, but it's not just, you know, that you're in remission and you just let go of it. You have to keep looking for anything that might come up, because something else might come up. Once you're subject to cancer, okay, the breast cancer is gone, you had the mastectomy, got rid of it, and you're okay now, you're in remission. But that doesn't mean it can't come up or pop up anywhere else.
Exactly. But you
So
still keep very positive attitude towards it.
Yes, you have to. You can't just like say, oh my God, I've got this and I've got that. Because I have another issue. It's in my head, but it's an acoustic neuroma. It's a totally different thing. It's still a growth, but it's a non-malignant growth. It's already done some damage to my balance nerve, my hearing on the left side. But other than that, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't hurt, it's not painful, it's not growing. Because because I had treatment for it in Sheffield in the UK, and that was like 3 years ago. You can't just like, you know, say, oh my God, everything keeps happening to me, you know, sort of like, what am I gonna do? I'm so unlucky.
No, that
You just might as well
doesn't help.
go throw yourself off a cliff or something, which is something I won't do ever. No way.
So the positivity is inside you. You're never gonna see it as desperate.
No, I mean, these are minor tests in life, okay? Health issues, you have to deal with them. Depends how you look at it as well.
Yes, it's true. So I want to ask you, how do you keep your positivity?
I don't know, I think it's
You
like,
don't know.
it just comes out.
It just comes out. And
I don't know. If I had any to spare, okay, I'd gladly fill up these little minute sample bottles and hand them out. I think it's just like, you know,
yeah.
even a smile is good enough as a positive thing. So, I mean, I'm walking in the street, I even talk to myself and I don't care.
And I want you to give us some advice. For example, when people they are going through like chemo treatment, it's a disaster to the body.
Listen,
right?
when a person first hears of this diagnosis that they have cancer, the first thing they think of is, I'm going to die. Full stop. There's nothing you can tell them or do to convince them that they're not going to die. But if they have to start the treatment like I had to start the treatment, whether I liked it or not, because that's what the illness dictated that I did, okay? And then you start seeing the other side of it. Well, at least I tried to see the other side of it. I had 2 young children. I couldn't afford to let them grow up without a mother. Okay, their father wasn't much in their life at the time anyway, so you just can't do that to your children, can you? You have to fight for them, if not for yourself, but for yourself as well.
Yes, of course.
Because if you're not healthy and you can't take care of your own children, who's gonna do it for you?
So what advice you would give it to them if they are going through?
Well, the first thing I would say is like, don't research anything or Google up anything.
Why?
It's best if you ask 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000 questions to your oncologist or your doctor, then Google it.
Why?
Because I have a pimple here. By the time I Google it and the story reaches Goat Zone, okay, you're dead and buried. Because the more you question it, the more you research, one thing tells you one site tells you one thing, another specialist or another expert tells you another thing, and you just get more and more confused.
Exactly.
So the doctor who's dealing with your case, he knows more about it than any expert can tell you on paper or in print or on the internet. You ask a million questions.
I imagine there will be people, they want to search for different kind of methods instead of going through the chemo treatment.
Well, there's holistic treatment. Okay, fine. There's oh my God, I forgot the word. But it's not toxic chemo. It's a different kind of chemo.
Some people are going through like different kind of diet. They go completely.
Well, a diet is always helpful. Mind you, when I was going through it, nobody advised me about diets. Eat this or don't eat that. I used to eat anything. I still eat anything anyway nowadays. So it's not a question of like, it just wasn't my time. Let's put it this way.
I see.
A healthy diet, exercise, and whatever you can do, and the positive attitude and the support of of friends and family, yes, they would help quite a lot.
That's
okay?
good. Yeah.
They're all a bonus to recover. In some cases, unfortunately, they don't always work.
No, but for general people like me, for example, if I have a friend, she's going to cancer or something, for me it's like, I don't know what can I do for her. If I really want to do something for her, I wouldn't have any idea.
If she's willing to talk about how she's feeling, the best thing you can do is listen to her. Because by listening, you'll be doing her more good than by offering to go get her an ice cream, for example.
Exactly. Yes, I like this.
Because some people just need to be heard.
Yes, it's true.
I mean, one thing I used to hate was like being in the same room with a bunch of people. Okay, we're not all together conversing, but there's people in the room, and they're asking about me, but they're within reach, so I can hear what they're asking about me. And they're like talking about me, wondering if I'm going to live or die, and not ask me directly how I'm feeling about it. It's like I'm not there.
Yeah, they fear like will upset you would. That's why they do
But
it.
don't say anything where I can hear you. At least talk about me behind my back where I can't hear you. Because once I hear you, I'm gonna tell you something, which I used to do.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
Listen, I'm here. What do you want to know?
Yeah, that's better. You interact in a direct.
Ask me how I'm feeling about it, because I mean, as close as I am to you being my friend or my sister or my mother or whatever, which, by the way, my mother didn't even know what really went on with my case because of my father being a cancer patient as well at the same time. Thing is, like, no matter how close they are to you, they cannot say what you are going through.
No.
Even if someone else asks them, they can't answer for you.
No.
And they try not to show you that these people are asking about you. But like I said, if you're in the same room and they're within reach and within hearing distance, of course you're gonna hear them and you're going to go like, what am I, invisible or what? You know? And you don't like that. I didn't like it.
I don't like it either. I prefer you talk to me.
And it's not necessarily just because I was, you know, sick with cancer. Could be any other issue.
Could be any other thing, yes.
You can just talk to me and ask me.
Exactly.
If I feel like I want to reply, I'll reply. If I feel like I don't want to and I don't want to discuss it, I won't discuss it. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You
But
know?
you're very direct with this kind of...
That is my approach
that's
towards
your
it. Some
approach,
people
yes.
might not be as open.
No. Some people wouldn't want to talk about it.
At all.
Nothing.
I
So then the only way to know any news from it is ask somebody else.
Yes, but not somebody else might not even know what they're thinking.
Exactly. They might give you the wrong information. Yeah.
And the wrong information is like the worst thing that can happen. It's better to say, I don't know.
Exactly.
Or ask their doctor if it's a family member. And like, ask her oncologist, ask her doctor. He can tell you more than I can tell you.
Exactly.
If she's or he's not opening up, whoever it is. That's the way I see it anyway.
So Marthese, are you single?
Yes and no.
So you are dating?
I wouldn't call it exactly dating, okay? But yes, if like there's this particular person I occasionally see.
All right. So would
But
you?
it's not like we're attached at the hips or anything.
Okay. Would you give some advice to like mature women about dating?
I give advice to all women, not just mature women,
Okay.
because I'm no expert, mind you.
All right. Okay.
But what I found has worked for me is not imposing, not encroaching people's privacy,
Okay.
not expecting too much, and not invading
To
people's
respect.
space.
Yes, respect. Privacy.
And you have to have trust and mutual respect. Those two go hand in hand. Without those, you can never have even just a date which goes well.
Okay. So.
Because the more you expect from people, the less you get. The risk of being disappointed is higher.
Yes. Okay. That's
So,
all good.
That's how I see it anyway.
Good. So this just summed up our today's interview. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.